who the justice system in Nigeria was built for is simple. Is the justice system was built for people without money, women, people living with disabilities, those whose identities and circumstances of social status or position places them outside a particular category that the system quietly imagined when it wrote its rules. This is not a legal system problem. It is a design problem. And design problems requires deliberate redesigning. Tonight, we are not here to list grievances. We are not here to name the gaps or to challenge the structures and demand something that is more than a system that responds after harm has already been done. I am delighted to welcome you, our distinguished panelists, and I thank every one of you for joining. Right now, I see about 25 people on the call. If we leave this meeting tonight and we are able to learn one, two, or three things that we will share with our families, our friends, and loved ones, then I think our goal was made. I welcome you, my panelists. I do sincerely appreciate everybody who has joined us this evening. Welcome to the Victoria Show, June 2026. Have a wonderful discussion. Open your mind to make contributions, ask questions. Let's just talk about who the justice system was made for. What does it look like right now? How can we prevent harm from continuing to happen? Thank you so much. I am Chief Jennifer Hebafanali. I'm the host of the Victoria Show. I welcome you all and I love you so much for being here.
All right. Thank you so much, ma. We really appreciate you and we love you, ma'am. Yeah. So quickly to our first panelist, in the person of Mr. Babatunde. I don't know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, can you react to an emoji, sir? Hello, Mr. Babatunde. Can you hear me? Yeah, this question is for you, sir. Has the justice system evolved through, has the justice system evolved enough to meet the needs of today's society? Or is it still operating with outdated structures that exclude many people? And can technology help democratize access to justice? Or does it risk creating new barriers for those without digital access? Hello, can you hear me, sir? If you hear the question, can you react with an emoji?
Yes, yes. So I'm really, really excited to be in this meeting. I want to really appreciate the host and also our amazing coordinator for this fantastic topic. It's something that I'm driven about, and I have done some couple of work over the years on this particular niche. And I'm really glad that we are all prepared to um, dive into it. So without much further ado, I also want to welcome every one of us to this particular section. For the question, yes. When we talk about justice, we often imagine a blindfolded woman holding a scale, a symbol that justice is impartial and available to everyone. So we all maybe see that maybe symbol now at the law court, at the federal high court, even at the local magistrate maybe court. We see one blind woman, one symbol of a blind woman holding two scale and all those. But the reality is quite different for millions of people, and justice is not denied because they are guilty. It is basically denied because the system was never designed with their realities in mind. So I loved the opening of our host. We are not really here to blame any bad system. I have a favorite maybe mantra that I always use, that you don't spend time maybe talking about a problem. You either find a solution or you enter the issue and bring out maybe solutions or from it. And I want to commend her also for that opening. So has the justice system evolved enough to meet the needs of today's society? My answer is yes, but not enough. Not enough. There have been some commendable reforms. I'll give it to them. I've been following the policies and the bills that are going on our justice system, particularly in Nigeria. We have seen improvement in some legal frameworks. We have seen some increased public awareness of maybe or maybe human rights, digital court processes in some jurisdictions also. There have been a level of improvement also in maybe legal aid services and stronger conversations around maybe gender-based violence and child protection. These are relative signs of progress. However, the pace of our social change has significantly outgrown the pace of justice reform. Today's society is far more interconnected, diverse, and digitally driven than the institutions that actually govern it. Yet, our many justice systems still operate with structures designed decades ago. We have been, as an initiative, I work with one that we have been on them that we need to have a reform, because what we are presently using has been in existence for over 30 something years now, and it seems as if our justice systems is basically moribund. There have been some new improvement, but we are still relying on our old model frameworks, which is not really helping matters. One of them is the long stretch of delay. You will have a court hearing that might even take up to 5, 6, 7, 8 years to come to conclusion. So it's also one of those things that we are working on to make sure that we correct in our policy system. So the question we should ask is not simply, is justice really available? I think we can really ask, can we maybe realistically assess it? Because we have many of our magistrates courts everywhere. We have the state high courts everywhere, but can we really assess the justice system? And one distant example that I normally use when I even maybe do speak about this is that if I'm not relatively using myself or us that are here, can the vulnerable people out there, can they be able to assess our justice system? I consider like a rural market experiencing some domestic violence at home. She may have to travel maybe several hours before even reaching like a police station. She may not even understand the legal procedures. She may, like say, even be like afraid of the social maybe stigma, the economic maybe dependence. And there's even after reporting, the whole process could also maybe take years before any meaningful outcome. Now consider also like a young person, probably even with a disability, seeking justice. I personally have experienced this here in Lagos around early this year, February, because I also work with the disability community also here. We dealt with a case of a disabled person that had been seeking justice for over 2 years now, and guess what? There have not been any hearing, all because of they neglected her based on her condition. So if such people or such persons are not even able to assess our justice system, which is being maybe described as the common hope of a common man per se, then how able are we can we even be able to say, okay, we are even doing well? Can we even maybe beat our chest and say, yes, our justice system relatively is improving, or even the relative improvement that we are seeing, is it really grounded? Is it what we can be able to be or maybe proud of as a people? So justice cannot be considered accessible if only the educated, the financially stable, or probably those people that are only living in the cities can only effectively maybe use it. We can't say because I can be able to use the law court. I have maybe lawyer friends that I can call, and if I have any issue, and they can be able to maybe quickly resolve my issue because it's accessible to me. I will now assume, justice is accessible to everybody. So if the common man out there, the woman at the street, the man living in the rural area, the maybe disabled person that cannot even assess our justices. If these people have issues making inroads to maybe our justices, that means there's a very big maybe lacuna, a very big issue that needs to also be resolved, and that's even the more essence of this our conversation this evening, and I'm really also happy to be part of it. So I submit that justice should be people-centered, basically people-centered. One of the greatest misconception is that our justice begins like inside the courtroom. I've had that several times. I've had even my lawyer friends say me, "Oh, every justice should start from the courtroom. That the judge is the court, the magistrate is the law. So anything about us doing any, you just have to start from. You have to come and write a report. You have to come and get a lawyer. You have to come and." It has been flying around, and then that's why most of those that even are able to access it or are not even able to access it, the whole protocol of them maybe looking for a legal person that will come and represent them is cumbersome. So it makes it not to be accessible. So I don't want us to go out from this section with that maybe school of thought. Justice should begin the moment someone is looking for help. Like the moment you actually notice maybe someone around you needs help, that is the moment justice should even begin. We shouldn't just leave it to the learned personnel or the security agencies. If you are able to provide a form of aid, a form of help, a form of support to someone that needs help, you are already a practitioner of justice. You are already an arm of government that is also executing justice. It doesn't mean that I have to first of all go and report to the police. If you see someone that have already is down across the road or is not feeling so well and the person finally collapsed, or you saw a girl that there are some few guys are trying to go and molest, don't go and say, since I'm not a policeman or I'm not a lawyer, so what will I even do? You are in truth, go and find out, go and try and even save the person. In a way, you are also part of the justice system. So I want to maybe in a way remove that myth from we have encountered so many issues that the persons. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you for that reminder. The minutes left is even very small, but let me see if I can do justice to that. Okay. Maybe that is why we must move from a court-centered justice system to a people-centered justice ecosystem. Quickly, because of my time, I also think that technology have really given us a lot of leverage. It's I see it as one of our greatest opportunities, but only if we can build inclusivity. Let's not go and copy technology of the Western world and just boom. If it's not particularly to our unique needs, I've seen it more like a level. It has enormous potential, but can we able to make it work for us, for our community, for our society, for our states, for our nation? Today, someone can even report abuse online. Legal information can reach millions through mobile phones. Virtual legal consultation can even reduce maybe transportation. AI now has been able to amplify our legal maybe as maybe documents and the rest. But the point I'm trying to make also is that we need to make it our own. Can we also be able to balance it in a way that even the poor can be able to access it? Those that don't have, those that are not really, maybe they don't have that or maybe literal or digital maybe literacy. Can we be able to also teach them on even how to even access this? So in speaking about that also, I feel I'm submitting also that we should move from just not saying or not just maybe being happy or being so excited about maybe tech, to also bringing it maybe down to also our particular needs from our communities to our maybe workplace, to our societies and the rest. Because of our time, also, I also feel that we can really maybe leverage on this inclusive design. One thing that I feel that every one of us that are also into policy should be asking ourselves: can and a person that is old, can he maybe be able to use this? Can maybe someone living in one rural area access it? Can a person with one disability or the other also be able to access it? Can even maybe someone that didn't even maybe go to school, can we even make the person also able to at least understand the rudiments of how we can leverage maybe tech in terms of maybe bringing justice also? So what are we looking to even change? I believe there are 5 priorities I marked out that I feel that can also that can also maybe bring in the change. First of all is us being able to simplify our legal processes. We need to simplify it. We need to make it, let it not be so cumbersome, because a lot of people we have received all form of feedbacks about how cumbersome, how rigorous our legal frameworks, or people don't understand. They don't even know what they are saying. So it makes even the common person out there not to be interested, or even not even go to seek any form of maybe justice, because he felt that this is not even for me. I can't even be able to understand maybe what these people are saying. So also, if we can be able to make it simplify, if you can have maybe frameworks, policies that will make these things very basic to maybe someone, it will maybe help our policy. Secondly, also, we can also maybe strengthen our legal support and aid, and make it more community-based justice maybe systems. We have a lot of processes. I've seen it happen. I've been there, and I've also experienced it. If we can bring it down to our society base, community base, that the community person can literally access our magistrate court without him trying to go and meet this person and come today, come tomorrow, and then one issue will keep being, like, say, elongated for like days, weeks, and months and years also. It will also make us to be able to be acquainted also. Thirdly, if you can also invest in civil and legal education, we are not really going to go and leave it for the maybe government. What we are doing now is what we are investing in our civic and legal education. If you can also carry it down to our friends, our families, our co-workers, our colleagues, we are spreading the good news. We are making people aware that, see, this thing is not just about government, that we can still bring in those big maybe matters and make it even more understandable. Also, because of all our time, I'm really rushing. Fourthly, also, we can also design digital justice platforms. I'm part of this now. So if at the moment we are working with the Lagos State government on this, especially for people with disability. We are meant to submit our report by next month, and then maybe guess what? The work we are doing is very amazing. It's going to help a lot of persons with disability to access justice system very easily. So if this can also be implemented across the states, across the local government areas, I believe that we are like a lot of improvement are going to also maybe take place. So the last and not the final here is also building institutions that are I tend to be compassionate. We have policies that the people that are behind it, they don't have empathy. They are just there. They will see someone that really need help, and they will still want the person to. If we can have our personnels, the people that are also behind all these our maybe legal frameworks to have empathy, because we are dealing with maybe sensitive issues. So if can be able to also achieve that will also be able to restore a form of maybe dignity and make us to be able to access the justice systems much more effectively and efficiently. Also, I really want to conclude by this fact, because of my time. Sorry. The true measure of self any justice system, I feel that like it's not even that is it like only serves the powerful, but how are we able to also maybe make it to serve the maybe powerless, those people that don't really measure up in the society, as in those people that we might even go and call or maybe the masses. So how can that our justice system also be able to go and serve them? So if we can make it accessible, if we can make it to be very very basic to the poor, if we can also maybe as maybe be able to also know that we all are the solutions. We are not really apportioning blames to start blaming our judges, our governments, no. We are now taking the responsibility of us, making sure that we all are the solutions. That if I can start from my own niche, from my own space, and I'm doing something,
Right.
I
Thank
didn't
you.
I feel that it will also have as maybe more like a ripple effect also to reach out to every form of our society, and in that fact also we'll be able to have an efficient justice system. Thank you so much for the time. I'm really sorry for taking an extra minute from my time, and yeah, I appreciate the platform. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate you. I think we definitely have to find a time where we'll give you more time to speak, and we'll be glad to host you. Thank you so very much, sir. I think one thing I learned is that our justice system should be people centered. That means everyone should be able to take responsibility and also inclusion. So, in view of this inclusion, I would like to open the floor to everyone on this call. If you have an input as regarding what has been discussed, you can raise your hand and share your insights. I'll be making 3 minutes available for that. So, if you have an insight on what he has said on the question on technology and the justice system, you can do well to share your insights. Meanwhile, we'd like to get your email addresses to follow up on you and send the recording of this video, and also let you know our forthcoming program. So do well to write your email addresses on the chat box. Right now, the floor is open. If you have anything, any contribution, anything you've learned from what he just said, you can just do that with a show of hand. Thank you so much. I'll mute now. Okay, without wasting so much time, I'd like to give the mic to my executive director for our own insights as regarding the subject matter. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, well, he already said so much, but one thing that he said that really stood out with me, and I want to recap, is that justice is actually everyone's business. When people have problem, violence, no matter what it is, especially violence, is everybody's business. Let's not say because something has not happened to you, then it's not significant. It doesn't matter. And do not say, oh, I don't even know him. He's not even my tribe. I don't even know him and all that stuff. There are so many resources that Joasi has put together to teach us on how to respond to people that are seeking for justice. First of all, we have safe spaces where you can report things that have happened to you or to your loved one or to someone that you don't know. And the WhatsApp number is +234 8055554942. And then we also have our email address, juasing@gmail.com. Any reports you send there, sometimes maybe you just want to talk about something that happened in the past, something that is currently happening, something that you are too ashamed of. We can take anonymous reports and we will see how we can fight for justice for you, your loved one, or even that person who has no voice. Because what we have been for the past 1 year, 6 months today, has actually been a voice to the voiceless. We have been speaking on behalf of persons with disability, women who had no access to justice systems before, people who do not even know exactly how to access the justice system. Because abuse and wrongdoing and any bad thing is everybody's business. If we begin to look at domestic violence, any form of violence, gender based violence, in the light of thinking of it as it is everybody's business, then we are going to have more justice for ourselves. Just imagine your neighbor who is being abused by a significant other, and you and the other neighbors decided to knock on their door and say, "What is going on here? Enough is enough. Oga will call police for you. No trial." We have seen videos of people, community members who came together to flog the hell out of an abuser. And that man, in the same video, he was so humbled, he couldn't believe himself. At the end of the day, he went to carry cutlass. Who do you want to cut? So by the time we begin to look at the justice systems beyond the government, like our speaker said, every time you think of the justice system, and the first thing that comes to your mind is the courts. Is a court case. That one, a court go settle. Or you begin to think of it like, this one is police. This person should just go to the police. Is it every situation that must be attended to in that manner? Or there are times when we have to speak out for people, on people's behalf. If you are in this program going forward from this night, and anybody is suffering any form of injustice, it doesn't matter if it's domestic violence, it doesn't matter if somebody stole somebody's land, it doesn't matter. And that person is a weak person, and you are listening to the sound of my voice, then you have the responsibility of helping that person. How will you do it? Reach out to us. Drop your email right now. We are going to send you a recording of this email using that safe email box that I talked about for this Victoria show. And when you are replying, tell us you want to tell us something, or just drop us a WhatsApp number and we'll follow up. 11 women have received justice. They've gotten pro bono services through the Victoria show within 1 year. A young girl of 11 years old, right now we are in court, making sure that her rapist is prosecuted. That is the work of the Victoria show. So we are not saying that we are leaving you alone. We are not here to push blame and talk and go. No, if we really want the justice system to work, then we all must support the justice system. And just like our speaker said also, technology has actually added so much value to us. I mean, we have all this, like this digital legal informations that Joasi has placed online. I have a whole book on how to talk to people who have suffered one form of abuse or the other. And then this resource is free. I am not selling it, but very few people click to download. Very few people read. And these are informations that will help us. So let's leverage technology. It has come to stay. How do you say distance is no longer a barrier? Even the inclusion we are talking about now, you can translate languages. You can even you have live translations that are happening for persons with disability. I mean, with transcripts and all these apps. So let's not leave the justice system to fight for us, because it's actually everybody's business. Thank you very much, and for giving me the opportunity to add. I appreciate you, Mr. Sam, and thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. Miss Rufus Precious actually raised her hand up. Before I give the mic to you, I would also like to let every one of us know that the email address and the phone number for our safe space has been pasted on the chat box. So do well to copy it out. You have to save it on your phone. It's necessary. All right, to you, Miss Precious. The mic is yours. Meanwhile, if you have any suggestion, you can also use the chat box. For those who are shy, let's be inclusive. Miss Precious, over to you, ma'am.
Okay, good evening.
Good
Good
evening
evening,
and welcome.
everyone. Yeah, so I'm very delighted to be here, and I've really gotten so much from the first speaker. Yeah, and it has really been, I've really learned a lot within these few minutes. So one thing that stood out for me is the part where he talked about empathy. Like, we can't really you know help other people access this justice system without, if we don't have empathy. And what is empathy? It's just about like trying or having this compassion for people that really need this justice, people that are in the rural communities, disabled people that really don't have anyone per se to really stand up for them. So, and if we don't have this virtue empathy, we might not really have the heart. We might not empathy, with the virtue empathy, we can actually do whatever we can at that moment for such kind of people, especially for the underserved community, the underserved one population amongst us. Yeah, and he was talking about seeing somebody and you're like, this is not my brother. I don't even know him from anywhere. But it is just empathy that can make you, even without knowing who this person is, like you're doing something, you're reaching out to probably help this person seek the justice that he deserves. Yeah, that's the insight I got. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Ma. I really love the perspective you came out from, perspective of empathy. It shows that truly our speaker did justice to it and we are all listening. I thank you so much for paying attention and thank you everyone for being on this call. I'd like to apologize on behalf of our other speaker. He has been having network challenge, but nonetheless, we still have to tackle and discuss the question and the topic on ground for him. So we do it more like an open discussion. Our host will give our view on it. Then anyone who has something to say will also share idea as we learn from each other. Thank you so much, ma'am. Are you with me, Edie? If you can hear me, can you react an emoji? All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. How do poverty, gender, disability, or social identity shape a person's experience within the justice system? And how do we move from a justice system that reacts to injustice to one that actively prevents exclusion and discrimination? Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right, so I'm happy you said it's going to be an open discussion. So I'll just give a little insight exactly what I really think about the question: how poverty and disability, gender, and social identity, those, should I call them situations that you have mentioned, were actually never supposed to be criteria for justice in the first place. Whether somebody is poor, is disabled, or it's a man or a woman, or is shy, his social identity, or he has chosen to be whatever he chooses to identify himself with, those were never even supposed to be criteria for receiving justice in the first place. But let's be honest, in practice, these things, they function as gatekeepers. Because a person who cannot afford a lawyer, or the woman who fears that she will not be believed, or even if she is believed, to what extent will she really be supported? Or to the person with disability who cannot even physically access the police station or the courtroom, or even to be understood. Just imagine a deaf who comes to the police to report and there is no interpreter in that police station. How do they now get justice? And they do not experience this justice system in the same way like other people. They experience this justice system in pains. And the thing is that they do not get justice at all. And that is why the Victoria Show exists. And that is why we make calls like this. So we can trigger your consciences. So we can inform you about the work that the Victoria Show seeks to do. And to encourage us to move from reactive to rather preventive justice. This means that we must remove those gatekeepers before harm even occurs to them. Through inclusive laws, we must advocate for inclusive laws. How many laws in Nigeria says that every police station must have a sign language interpreter? How many police officers are mandated to go through a sign language course? I don't know. If you know it, you can drop it in the comment section or raise your hand and let us know. And we'll be happy. We'll be happy to write about it. We can also prevent this through accessible institutions, provision of legal aid, just like Joasi has done for 11 people. You don't need a platform to help people. Even before Joasi was created, I was still doing the things that we are doing today. Joasi is only aiding that vision to help others. So you may be listening and be saying, yes, now because it's Joasi, that's why you are able to help people. Now me, I don't have organization. And we must move from advocacy to action. Because to me, if we are only going to sit here and talk, year in, year out, people have been talking. People that even speak better English than us have been talking. If we do not move from advocacy and awareness into action, then we are just carrying out a performance. We are just acting drama. We must invest in public education. In a program like this, if you are challenged, if you are taught by everything that is happening here, then you should be able to write in the chat box, send your account number. 5,000 naira recharge card will push this vision. 50,000, 1 million, 10 million. If you do not have access to the victims of all these violations, to the poor people, the disabled people, people who are suffering because of their gender, we have access to them. You can write or say, oh, I liked what happened. I liked the conversation. How many people are you currently supporting? Okay, I will support you with ₦1 million. I will support you with 500,000 naira. For some of us, this is chicken change. This is what we blow at one sitting. And this is the same amount that can change somebody's life. This is the same amount that can save someone's soul, a whole generation from going extinct. Because people, real life people are suffering. And they are suffering, and that empathy that our sister talked about is still going to be very, very useful here. You put yourself in these people's shoes. A person with disability, a person in a far community. Sometimes we go into communities through the Victoria Show, and during the community engagement, we find out stories that are almost like they are from a movie, like a very bad horror movie. And then we are left so stressed, so stranded, so like it's very, 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 very emotional when you see this type of things. So justice that arrives after damage has been done, it's not justice. It is just documentation. Oh, we have another rape case, we have recorded it. Let's move from fighting after the damage has been done to the preventive measures. Partner with us today. I will leave this now on so that other people can make their comments. And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. Really appreciate your insights on the subject matter. So quickly, the floor is open to anyone with any contribution, any input. You can do it to raise your hand and also chat in on the chat box. Meanwhile, if you are yet to drop your email address, please do well to do that. I'll mute now.
All right. I saw some messages I just saw a message drop. Let me scroll back up to see that we don't miss any message. Hope for FWGI said, our last speaker did real justice to the question. I learned a lot. Thank you so very much for your comment. And thank you so much, our wonderful first speaker. I didn't even want you to stop speaking. Every time you apologize for taking more time, I was like, who is complaining? Even though we're running short of time. And I thank you so much. Wow, wow, wow. Good one. That's great. We are the solution. Exactly. Absolutely. We are the solution. And then amazing presentation from the first speaker. How can we be empathetic about our justice system? We are not talking about we being empathetic with the justice system. We are talking about being empathetic with one another. What is empathy? Putting yourself in other people's shoes. When somebody is beating somebody along the way, when motor jam person and the motor no stop, will you just walk up past, or you will pause and gather people to help that person? That is being, you just imagine, what if it's my child? What if it was my sister? That is empathy. I have learned a lot from this discussion. Nanji Hua, thank you so much. I will put them in practice. Thank you for that promise. We are going to send you a Google form. Fill in how exactly you're going to put this into practice, and then ask us for support. And then Mil Kagaman said, this is sincerely a great conversation. Jumping on another meeting now, okay? Getting the recording will sincerely help. Definitely, we are going to share that with you. And then Angie said, we must move from advocacy to action. That's my take home. Yes, we should stop with no action. Just imagine, since the launch of the Victoria Show, we have not helped anybody. We'll just gather people like this and go away. It doesn't work that way. We have gone into more than 11 communities that were practicing female genital mutilation. And I'm telling you, out of these 11 communities, 9 of them have a clearer understanding of the impact of what they are doing. And actually, I did a small research on FGM, and it was very, very heartbreaking to find out that some of the reasons, one of the reasons why FGM was even brought about was just about the patriarchy. Now, when these small children, the girls, their vaginas are altered and cut off, they will never be able to reach orgasm. And so they are just existing for the satisfaction of the man. They have never experienced what orgasm is. And so, how do they go and cheat on their husbands because they do not even enjoy sex in the first place? That was one of our findings. That really shook me. It shook me to the core. And I actually we made a survey, and then we were asking men questions, and then their answers were like, really? So this work cannot stop with us. We must move from advocacy to action. When you get that grant, when you get that opportunity, do not be quiet. Put yourself in other people's shoes. And then we have 2 more minutes until we round up. If any other person does not have any other thing to say, then we will be rounding up. But keep your comments coming in. Okay, somebody is saying that part, what did I miss? Sorry for coming in late. Okay, you're welcome. I want to appreciate the speaker and Mrs. Hemba Fan for making justice to today's topic. Treating others like yourself or family members will help us go a long way to achieve our goal. Thank you very much, BM. Thank you. Oh, Madam Joy. Joy is here. Our big boss. Thank you so much. Say well done, Joasi. We are grateful. She's one of our partners. We hopefully soon we'll be doing some work together in by God's special grace. And the part that talked about partnership is beautiful because there are some cases that need serious follow-up and some involve spending or inviting other special and stronger. But exactly, we have formed so many of these task forces. In fact, sometimes I look at my WhatsApp and I'm in so many groups. And that is exactly how we were able to achieve helping those 11 people. A very insightful conversation. Dr. Daniel Omaga, more grace to Joasi and the entire team. Thank you so very much, everybody, for your comments. And if we have anybody that has anything to say, could you raise your hand? You have 1 minute until we close.
Okay, Chief, can I add to what you just presented?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You have 2 minutes, ma'am.
Okay, you've spoken so well, and the first speaker too have spoken so well. But I want to quickly add something from the perspective of gender, how it contributes to this as issue of accessibility to justice, especially from this part of our world. The patriarchal system in place is a big blockage. Let me use that word blockage. I don't just want to put it as an obstacle. You know, we've had serious, of course, this is my line, so I can speak from the perspective of somebody who has been in the field just like you. We've had several issues or cases where domestic violence happens, violence generally, not just domestic violence. And then one partner reports to the police station, and then the next says, this woman, you don't know that we are in Africa, you are bringing the report about your husband or about your senior brother or by a man to us. My friend, write your comments and go. Sometimes they may even promise them, we will take it up, and nothing comes out of it. And even when you take it to the higher authority, there was a case I was involved in recently where we had to write to the gender department of the Nigerian police force before the man was invited. Before then, this woman has reported to 3 different police stations within the jurisdiction that she was able to access, and nothing was done about it. So we have a system where the woman is looked down on, like you are not qualified to access justice. So I'm glad that we have platforms like this, and I'm glad that we have so many hands on board at this moment. Keep doing more, keep the enlightenment going, let people leverage on this platform to speak up for themselves. Because if I see, anytime I remember the face of that woman, the level of battery that occurred there, and the fact that the station she reported to could not do anything because she was a woman, it beats my heart that we have a system that really relegates women in that aspect. So I'm glad that you have this platform. Kudos to you and your team. Please keep it going.
Thank you so
Thank
very
you.
much, Dr. Maria. Thank you very much, Dr. Maria, PhD. I always call her Dr. Maria, PhD, so that people will know that this is not an honorary doctorate. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Dr.
madam.
Maria. And once upon a time, she was my only friend that has a PhD. But guess what? They are up to like 5. And I'm wondering, like, when will I do my own? Congratulations, ma'am, all the time. Thank you
What
very
you are
much.
doing is much more than what we are doing here. Keep it going. Not there's no PhD that is bigger than what you are doing, to be honest.
Thank you very much. I'm humbled. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And I appreciate you so much for your insight. And I do hope that we'll host you here one day with all your colleagues. You people should wear your PhD caps and show up. And educators, because there's always something to learn. Can you imagine? I've never imagined that one reason for female genital mutilation could be so selfish. That was even the day that I actually shed tears for that very topic. I mean, God help us. Mr.
All
Sam,
right.
over to you.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Maria. We celebrate and appreciate you. Um, without wasting so much time. Okay, some people dropped some messages. Let me check it. Pro Excellence Global Initiative said, congratulations, well deserved, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. And without wasting so much time, I also want to call on our executive director to give our closing remark. Why we appreciate everyone on this call. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for giving out yourself to learn, because without you, we wouldn't have been here. The speakers wouldn't have been speaking to themselves. So we celebrate you all. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, because I'm very, very happy for tonight, because tonight has confirmed that many of us already know, but rarely say plainly, that a justice system only works for some people. Is not a justice system. It is a privilege system with a legal court. Because real justice requires more than courtrooms. It requires a political will, public investment, accessible institutions, and a deliberate commitment of the people who have historically been excluded. To our panelists, thank you, Mr. Markfred. And we sincerely apologize to Mr. Babatunde, who is having so much difficulty. He was the first one to join, and I don't know how the network ended up wiping him out. But well, Nigeria happens to all of us. And to everyone who has joined us tonight for your presence in this conversation. Only your presence in this conversation and your contributions itself is an act of accountability, the accountability we are asking for. And I am very, very happy with everyone who is thinking in their head right now that, wow, I really have a role to play. Because if we are leaving everything for the government, we are leaving everything for the court, for the police, then really, we will never ever get the justice that we deserve. The Victoria Show exists because silence is not neutral. Silence is not golden when it comes to violence. Silence only takes a position. When you are silenced in a situation, sometimes it means you are accepting that situation. And this is not the end of our conversation. It is one more reason for us to keep going with the Victoria Show. See you next month on the last Saturday of July. Yes. And on the 8th, on the 2nd of July, we have another program we call the Women and Youth Financial Empowerment. And what that program is about is we have realized that we cannot keep talking about empowerment without making the efforts. Advocacy without action is what? Drama. Is what? Performance. We have moved beyond performance. We have moved beyond drama. Join the Women and Youth Empowerment Program on the 2nd of July. We are going to be discussing about our project, the Homestead Farm Initiative. You will be happy to have joined us, and then see you on the last Saturday of July 2026. Have a good morning, everybody.
When it comes to enacting bills or amendment of our local laws, there should be a serious advocacy so that some of these things will have a serious legal backing, so that when issues like this comes up in future, there should be good legal grounds in reprimanding people that are offenders of the law. I think that will go a long way because it's a serious crime against humanity for such things to be happening. So me, I feel that there should be serious legislation to penalize offenders. That's my take.
Thank you very much, sir. We have been making all those advocacies. As a matter of fact, after our book launch, we have been working on documenting some of our findings and to make sure that some of the laws that are already in existence are amended. And then there are some laws that are not even in existence. Like surprisingly, they are not in existence. Like no law is talking about some issues, and they are very, 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 very pertinent issues that must be addressed. So I do sincerely appreciate you for joining us, sir. Thank you very much for your insights. I hope to have you on the 2nd of July again. I will send the link and I hope you will join us. Thank you so much, sir.
Definitely. Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
Yes.